Hello all the crazy people out there, my name is Dragonite, welcome back to Pokemon Ultra Moon. Last time, the repel wore off. Last time, we didn't really make much use of that repel, because I got into a lot of random encounters anyway, but now that I'm a few levels stronger, that shouldn't be a problem anymore. We started our way through the vast Pony Canyon, and I espoused a lot of hot takes about why HM should come back, which I have a feeling most people aren't going to be with me on. And today we're going to be fighting our way through the rest of Vast Pony Canyon. At least I think we are. Again, I don't really remember how long this area is, although there seems to be some indications that it's a pretty long area. So, let me come over here, pick this up, that's a full heal. And was that a trainer who I saw down here? I think I saw the shade on the screen. Alright, there's a black belt, and we're going to go and fight the black belt. Alright. Let's see. I need, what, a little more than 8 more levels before I finally evolve into a Dragonite, before Strewn evolves into a Dragonite. Not me, my character. Although, I suppose you could say that I already am. But, Poliwrath is going to start out, and do I have anything that I can do to a Poliwrath? Not really. Extreme Speed and Brutal Swing are my attacking moves. At least I'm going to get to level 47 off this. Who can do something to a Poliwrath? Birdbrain can, Gon Lahas can. Gonna bring in Gon Lahas. And, I don't know, Giga Drain you to death or something. Mind Reader. So, I'm not entirely sure what I want my final moveset on this thing to be. I have in mind to go Mixed Attacker. Although I have a feeling I might end up leaning in the direction of Special Attacker because I only have one other Special Attacker on my team. This thing's special stats aren't great or anything, but I do learn a lot of nice moves. That was not necessary. Giga Drain, right here like I have. We also have access to Earth Power. I think Dragon Pulse. I should have access to Dragon Pulse. Well, I guess there's Draco Meteor, of course, because you are a fully evolved Dragon type, so there's that. But I also do want to make use... Oh, no. No. Okay, fine. We cannot do this. We cannot do this. Loic Core, you do it. Going to my other special attacker. I guess I could bring Birdbrain out and have Birdbrain use Fly. Alright, well, not anymore because I will get Dynamic Punched and I will be confused. Well, you're not locked on. Alright, fine. We're gonna see if Loic Core can get a Meteor, Draco Meteor off. And I do. Alright, so that is going to do it for Poliwrath, I think. That was moderately painful. The Poliwrath can go down. Strewn can grow to level 48. And we can be on it with our way. Okay, 47, not 48. Dragon Rush. I will not be learning Dragon Rush. Dragon Rush sucks. 75 accuracy, no thank you. Let's see. I'm going to go and heal manually. And we can be on our way. So, this way... yes. This is where we came, right? Up that tree branch. If that tree root just, like, wasn't there, what would everyone who needed to get through this area just, like, do? Would they just fall down the mountain or something? What's over here? Is this going to be, by any chance, the shortcut back to the beginning? It is. Alright, I had a feeling that once we got back down to ground level, we were going to be seeing the other side of this. And this is indeed going to be our shortcut back to ground level. Alright, let's get out of here. And I, would like to not be, carried around by Mr. I have, like, 0 base speed. So let's go this way. Alright, I see we have a gauntlet. We can go and fight our way through the gauntlet. You know what? I have the experience all on. Why is Strewn still up front? Alright, let's have someone with more than, like, 0 type coverage go up front. How about Pico? You haven't had a time in the lead for a while. You can go up front. So I see 2 more veterans, and we can take care of these 2 veterans before moving on. Should I talk through these? I feel like I'll talk through these. I don't know if we're getting down to the end or if there's going to be more after this, but I see 2 veterans in a row. That makes me think like mini boss or area boss or something like that. So Talonflame is out in the lead, and that is annoying. In-game Talonflame is a slightly different beast than competitively trained Talonflame, but I still would rather not see you. Do you have the Gale Wings ability? It's hard to tell because you're so fast anyway. Gale Wings, the ability, will give flying type moves priority. But, like, Talonflame is faster than most things in single player anyway, and it doesn't really make a difference the way it does in competitive. Alright, that actually did more than I thought it was going to. We can just do it again. That's going to put me in the yellow. Pico also has the amulet coin still, doesn't he? So that means that I'm going to get a decent amount of money from fighting these guys. Which I guess is alright. I don't really have anything that I want to use money on right now. Whalelord, I am going to U-turn on out of here. I don't really have anything I want to use money on at this point, although at the end of the game, at the very end, whatever money I do have, I will go to, like, the clothing store and just see what percentage of the apparel shop I can buy out. Who do I want to bring in? So, got a bunch of dragon types so I can deal with water. Logvakor is the obvious choice, but I don't think Logvakor can really do anything in return. So, let's go and bring in Fusrada over here. And Liquidation. That's a scary sounding move. It sounds like it's going to turn you into liquid, which is just horrifying to think about, but Dragon Claw has slightly higher power than Brick Break, so we're going to go and use Dragon Claw. How much is that going to do? Whalelord's physical... Really? Whalelord's physical defense isn't amazing. Let's stay in. I've got enough bulk that I should be able to take this. Whalelord's physical defense isn't amazing, but it does have absolutely titanic amount of HP, so it may take a little bit of time to chip through this. Heavy Slime. Yeah, do that instead of Bounce, because I don't think that has a paralysis chance. And that did less damage because it's not super effective. Alright. So, continuing to chip away. There we go. Alright, critical hit. I think that actually made a difference. I don't think that would have KO'd without a critical hit. Pico is now level 49. Will not be learning Scary Face. I have not learned a new move on Pico in a really long time. It's been like half the game. Logvakor is growing to level 49. And Glaceon is up next. So, Glaceon, you are slow. I don't think I can 1-hit KO you, though. So let's go and switch out to Logvakor. And I take neutral damage from Ice, which you're probably going to use. I think you have some decent special defense. Frost Breath. I think you have some decent special defense. But you are weak to Flash Cannon, and I do have the choice specs. So that is not even going to do half. Wow. Okay, that's impressive. Logvakor, you might be in trouble. I'm gonna stay in it and let Log go down here, unfortunately. Yeah. Have a clean break with Pico. You can come on in. Alright, can you do anything to Pico? Got... Is Fire Fang still my best fire type move? It is. I've got to learn Flare Blitz at some point, right? Wow. Alright, you still didn't take a lot of damage from that. I know Glaceon a decent special defense. It's sort of like a Vaporeon Light with a worse type, but I didn't think it had that much defense all around. I guess it does. Alright, well, Veteran Heather. I'm gonna go heal with items because I don't feel like running all the way back. Hang on. Alright, so we'll see what... No, you know what? I'm gonna lead, instead of with Pico, I'm gonna lead with Bird Brain. And if I have to, I will employ Stealth Rocks. And we can defeat you that way. Alright, Veteran. Alright, so it's just a little farther. What's your name? I need to shout out your name. Veteran Eric, okay. So we can go and you have 4 Pokemon. One is a Noctowl. If you're going to have a couple more flying types, then I think this Stealth Rock strategy is going to do nicely. Let's see. We can go and do this. Okay. I guess that's how it's going to be. I do have Brick Break if I need to clear the screens. We're going to see if that really does become necessary. What else do you have? Should I just be annoying? We can be annoying. Tailwind. Okay. That is sort of like Reflect and Light Screen, but for speed. Can you imagine if there was a version of that, but for the offenses? Like, if you could raise the attack of your entire team by 2 stages? That would be brutal. Slow King is now faster than me because of the Tailwind. Alright. Right, whatever. Yeah. Alright, you got a Flygon too. I have to say I approve of that. I don't know, you probably got a Fire move, right? Let's go bring in... I mean, most of my team does resist fire because it's dragons, but let's go bring in Locrocor over here. Alright, you're going to use Dragon Rush. Interesting choice. You missed. That is why I did not learn Dragon Rush myself. It's going to miss again. 75 accuracy. Happens sometimes. And your Tailwind's petering out. I should be faster than you now. Oh no, you're still faster. My team should have a pretty good, I guess veterans, high-level trainers, veterans, ace trainers, that sort of thing, sometimes do have effort values on their Pokemon. So, me having played through 50 episodes of this game, and 49 episodes of this game, whatever we're at, and having effort values on my team, doesn't necessarily mean that my stats are going to be better than the opponents at equal levels. I feel like you're going to use a Psychic move on me. Almost certainly you're not going to use a Water-type move on me. But if you use Psychic, I'm going to get a free switch. Yes, okay. I don't want to stay in, though. So we're going to U-turn out. And that should do a good chunk of damage. I don't think... Leech Life and U-turn have the same power, I think, right? Or is Leech Life... Is Leech Life 80? That still might not have taken you down, though. Anyway, Strewn, you have a priority move. We're gonna do this with Extreme Speed. Not that, like, anything I do won't be faster than a Slow King anyway. Guess there's that. If I can not be burned, great. Brutal Swing. I'll conserve the PP on Extreme Speed. Goodbye. And coming in next is going to be, alright, level 48, so I need 7 more to an evolution. Coming in next is going to be... Alright, my entire team, yes. Alright, so most of my team fought in that one. Gets credit for fighting in that one. I'm almost level 50 all around. Gengar, alright, so you're going to take some damage from the rocks, not too much. Shadow Ball, that shouldn't KO me. Alright, that lowered my special defense, which I don't care about because most likely going to switch out after this fight anyway, after this... Oh no, alright, I thought I was going to take you down on that, but I didn't. Extreme Speed will not work on a Ghost type. Pico? Can a Gengar at this level do anything to a Dark Fire type? I don't really think so. Shadow Ball is going to be a resisted hit. And... Alright, so Shadow Ball is apparently all you can do. I'm a little surprised you didn't have Destiny Bond or something. It's a very Gengar-ish thing to do. Oh, Cursed Body? That sucks, but I don't really care. Because I doubt whatever you have after this is also going to be the recipient of a Fire Fang. Because veterans generally have pretty diverse teams. Oh, Noctowl, that's right. Well, with nothing else to do, you're going to use Reflect again. I'm just going to start swinging away with Darkest Lariat. Oh, do I have my, Oh, I don't have my Incineroar Z. I have the Amulet Coin. So, 3 more of those, and this fight's going to be over. Magic Coat. Interesting choice. So that is basically a move version of the Magic Bounce ability. If I already have used a status move on you, like Thunder Wave or whatever, it would have been reflected back at me. You can't possibly have more than 1 HP. I'm not really intent on using status moves on you, as we can see here. I don't know why you decided to do that. But Noctowl is going down. Veteran Eric has been defeated. Pico is growing to level 50. Are you our first level 50? First level 50 of the team. Gon Lahas is level 50, so close second. Alright. The battery lit on my 3DS just went on. Just turned red, so I should probably find my charger. I'm gonna do that while I heal. If only the 3DS had come out like a year or two later when the world started standardizing around USB-C, I wouldn't have to play, like, cable management games all the time to get this thing charged. Anyway, Lily, you're not very good at running. Looks like we're nearly at the altar now, aren't we? Let me take... Oh, wow, right after I did the manual healing. Alright, fine. So, that's words of encouragement. Let's go in here, and the trial gate is not lost on me. I did see that. Ahead lies a sacred ground of trials. None who do not take part in the trials will be allowed to work upon this earth. Those lacking courage to defeat the totem guarding this land will be denied entry. But those who believe in their Pokemon and walk beside them shall gain great power. Alright. What type is this? Is this the cave where you find Jangmo, Komodo, and Hakamo normally? In the game, if you didn't trade them in from a different save file? I think it is. This might be a dragon-type trial. Alright, well, we're gonna go in, and what am I fighting here? A piercing gaze. This feels very dragon Pokemon-ish. Alright, yep, that's a Jangmo. I know exactly what to do with these. BRB. So, an even fiercer gaze than before. So thinking ahead a little bit to the totem Pokemon. Because I don't feel like sitting here and, like, throwing the kitchen sink at another totem Pokemon and having nothing happen. Can Bird Brain... I have a Toxic TM somewhere in here, don't I? And can Bird Brain learn it? I'm pretty sure Bird Brain can learn Toxic. Well, actually, Toxic is one of the universal TMs, isn't it? So anyone on my team should be able to learn Toxic. Here we go. Alright, so Bird Brain, what do I want to get rid of? What can I can replace it with Fly pretty easily. I'll keep Fly. Is Roar a TM? Roar was also a TM, right? So I can get that back. Hang on, let me just make sure that I'm not going to do anything that I'm going to regret. Alright, so I can reteach Roar when I'm done with this, because I do want Roar. I'm going to teach Bird Brain Toxic. And we're going to get rid of Roar. And I don't know, maybe I'll keep Toxic. I kind of don't really expect that I will. I will reteach Roar after this. And on the first turn, we're going to poison the totem Pokemon. And then we're just going to sit there for however long it takes. TMO2 Dragon Claw. I'll be making use of that eventually. Although I think Fusrada already knows Dragon Claw, and... Alright, interesting. Rare time that Sky Uppercut's secondary effect was actually shown off. Sky Uppercut is a fighting type move which will hit Pokemon who are in the middle stage of Fly. There's a couple of moves that'll do that. Earthquake and I think Magnitude will hit Pokemon in the middle stage of Dig. Sky Uppercut and Smackdown will also do the same for Fly. But that's not something you see every day. I will use another one, thank you very much. And do I just have to talk to the thing? Let's talk to the thing. Alright. Gonna take that crystal from the pedestal, and let's see if I can get off the strategy that I thought for 5 whole seconds about. So that's a Komodo. And we're gonna see... Let's see, hopefully the, I almost knocked my headphones off my head. We're gonna see if I can just poison you, sit here for 6 turns and then be done with this fight. Let's see. I'm gonna go and use Toxic. Thunder Punch. Alright, I should survive that. I am a Skarmory. We're gonna use Toxic. Alright, so stage 1 has been complete. So, having access to Thunder Punch is definitely kind of a problem. Do I wanna mirror match this? Noivern is coming in next. Do I want to mirror match this? I could switch into Fusorada and take resisted damage from Thunder Punch. It would also sort of scout out what Noivern has. I don't know what Noivern has that it would really want to use on a Skarmory. I could also switch to Lahas, who is, of course, ground type, will be taking no damage from Thunder Punch, but I also want to, oh, you're just going to Dragon Pulse it. That's going to be super effective, but I have a lot of HP, and I should be able to absorb that. And if I can just, like, waste time... So, can I double switch back to Bird Brain? You're probably both going to want to use a Dragon-type move on me. Alright, come on, Bird Brain. Although, your job is pretty much done. If you don't survive a couple of Dragon-type moves, it's not the end of the world. But I would still like you to get experience if possible. Alright, so Bird Brain did not make it. Let's see, I can... bring in Logvakor, and Logvakor can use Draco Meteor on honestly either of them. Don't really have a preference which. Komodo is going to die anyway, and Noivern, assuming I'm able to go before they kill me, because I don't know how fast these guys are. Komodo is going to be... I think Noivern is also pretty fast, so I might not survive this. No, alright, that's unfortunate. Logvakor, sorry, you're not getting a level. What about Pico? Pico's decently defensive, and also level 50. Nobody on my team has Protect, and Protect might also have been a good one to teach to Bird Brain. Pico, there you are. Let's see. Can I at least, like, do chip damage to Noivern? Darkest Lariat on Noivern? It's the only neutral move I have on either of them. Alright, so... Ooh, alright. Well, you're badly poisoned, so the toxic poison will build up over time. I am gonna avoid being yelled at. Cool. That's so weird how Screech can miss. Isn't it? Anyway, that did half your health. And the toxic damage is definitely gonna start to pick up here. Was that Drain Punch that you used on me? Is that what did all that damage? Yeah, that was Drain Punch. Alright, that's gonna heal less this time because I have less HP to offer. And at the end of this turn... Toxic is gonna really start to build up there. Boom Burst. Yeah, that's right. That's your ability on display. Gone Lahas. I don't really think, unfortunately, you're gonna survive this. But on this turn, Komodo should go down. And that should make the rest of this fight a lot easier. That's kind of the thing when you have a boss fight which only has one Pokemon, is if you do get Toxic on it. And I moan a lot in RPGs about how bosses can never be afflicted by status like Toxic or Poison or whatever. But there is a good reason for that, right? Which is that if you could just get it off, you would basically just be able to stall for a couple turns and the fight would be over like this. And Pokemon being set up in a way that it makes sense for a boss to have like 5 different monsters that you have to fight in succession means that you can still poison things. And it makes sense to be able to poison things, but it also isn't basically guaranteeing you a win.
Hey.
Let's see. You have Dragon Pulse, right? I could probably survive a Dragon Pulse. I think Extreme Speed is still going to do more damage than Brutal Swing on neutral matchup. You're going to use Dragon Pulse, and I should be able to take you down after this, and I'm going to survive that. And Strun Bakro, or just Strun Ba, because we're not fully evolved yet, is going to take down the Noivern and get credit for that KO. That was actually less experience than I thought it was going to be, and we defeated Totem Komodo. Alright. So Komodo is going to run off, and I'm going to definitely need to heal after this. Lily's right outside. We can talk to her. Is that the last Z Crystal? The last trial? I haven't been counting. There were two, one trial and one kahuna on the main island. There were 3 trials and a kahuna on the next island, so that's 6. On the third, I can't even remember. Alright, I'm gonna stop trying to count. I'm gonna go back to heal, because my entire team does need healing. And let's see. After this, I don't really think there's gonna be more to this cave after this. I think we might be to the end game. Onto the altar or whatever. Yeah, it sounds like you think we're pretty close to our destination. Alright. So, coming back in here, and I can run on through, and I guess I can run into wild Pokemon in here now if I were to run through without a repel, which I don't really feel like doing. I've already got myself a Komo-o. And out this way. That is a lot of stairs. Drago. Our history tells us that the Vast Pony Canyon trial was the very first trial ever to be held. You did a fine job clearing it, just as expected. You've cleared your 7th trial. Alright, I'll take your word for it. In Alola's Island Challenge now. That's wonderful. You pushed yourself beyond the limits and become a really great trainer, haven't you? And he could never have done it without you, Skarmory. Let me heal you. Alright. At least I didn't waste items that time. I just wasted my time. So, look at you two. I think this might just work out. No, I'm quite sure of it. The Sun Flute and the Moon Flute. If we sound both together... Let's go, Drago. Alright, so... running up the stairs, and this is going to take like 5 minutes, because this is a ridiculously long flight of stairs. I will not refresh my repel. It looks cool, though. Really like how this area looks. We're going to run up this way, and we're still not there yet. Is there anything of interest off on the side? No. This is just where the construction crew like stopped to eat their lunch when they were building these stairs. We can come up this way, and it's so impressive that it warrants its own map, apparently. I can feel the strong power of the moon, Nebby. Before I can return return you back to your original form, I've got to go find my mother. I have to tell her how I feel, and then we will find a way to stand against Necrozma together. Sun Flute. Feels like it was made to fit my hand. I think I can play it. Drago, you should stand over there. Alright, real fast. I don't suppose there's gonna be any, like, items scattered around. Are there? I would be surprised if there were. But I kind of feel like my video game instincts are just telling me to go and check anyway. I didn't see any in the opening fly-through. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any items for us to find. Alright, let's get on with it. So if we come over this way... yes, please. I think we should wait until the moon has risen. Okay, I was gonna say, do I actually have to just turn the game off and come back in a few hours? But no, we're gonna force time a day. Nebby, thank goodness you're alright. Please don't ever do that again. You made me worry so much. And I never imagined that sounding the flutes would give you so much power. Or let you evolve into the legendary Pokemon. Not in all of my reading. Never did I come across any hint that you would evolve into the legendary Pokemon. Please, Lunala. No, Nebby, please. I need to go where my mother is. If we want to protect Alola, we want to protect Alola, but there's no need for her to try to catch Necrozma all on her own. Now we can finally follow Mother and... Oh. Guzma, but you were... Boink. Mother as well? You children. Run away. That thing is a monster. Mother. That is Necrozma. The instant it woke, it flew into a rage and repelled everything that came near it. Lily, run from this place. You can't do anything. We can fight. That was not on the schedule for today. Oh my god, I forgot how ridiculous some of those Ultra Beasts look. Oh, are we not even gonna get a chance to, like, save or do anything before fighting? I guess we were just tilted a couple seconds ago. Well, should I do my same toxic strategy? I'm gonna do my same toxic strategy. I was not counting on this video going that long. I was counting on getting a chance to stop before fighting anything else. And it is 2 o'clock in the morning, and I kind of want to go sleep after this video. So, let's see. That was a lot of damage for pretty much anything to do to a Skarmory without a super effective hit. Alright. Unfortunately, I did not actually see the name of what you did, but it looked like a neutral hit, which is... Ghost, Dark... What other neutral hits are there on Skarmory? Water... Rock... And I think that's the only choices. So let's go and... Frustrada, you can do it. Alright, I don't know what type this thing is. I think Lunala is part psychic, but I can't honestly remember. Oh, that's gonna make this take a lot longer. And with that in mind, if you are part psychic, maybe I should not have switched out to a toy fighting type. So, right. Let's go. Can I bait you into using a psychic move? Is that gonna help? I don't know if that's gonna be, if this is just gonna be a useful strategy, or if I'm just stalling for time on Toxic right now. Power Gem. Alright, that's what you used on Skarmory. That's gonna be super effective. Fortunately, it's not same type attack bonus, I don't think. I don't know, maybe you have Rock as a secondary type, but let's go and use, you're gonna do that again. Alright. Oh, I should have used, Leech Life. Because if you are Psychic, that would have been super effective, and I would have healed some HP from that. Well, hindsight is 2020. Let's go, and if I get a chance to do it again, if you use an attack that misses. No, Power Gem is going to take me down. Alright. So, that was a critical hit. That was a very necessary critical hit. It definitely wouldn't have been able to kill me without that. I think on the next turn you should be about done. And, Logvacor, you only have 2 weaknesses in the entire game, and I feel like you probably don't know either of them, so we'll just, Flash Cannon. Scald. Scald would have worked. Flash Cannon will probably also work. Oh, do you resist that? No, you just didn't take a lot of damage from it. Interesting. Neutral hit. Did very little damage, but Necrozma's gonna go down. And... I'm assuming, by the way, I didn't say this out loud, but I'm assuming I can't catch you, because, one, when you do that, the game pretty much always will give you a chance to save. And 2, you did do that fusion thing, and as far as I know, whenever you have a Pokemon which has been, like, fusioned, the game will, not let you catch it. Kyurem, Black Kyurem, White Kyurem, and, Black 2 and White 2, that kind of thing. And indeed, there is another cutscene happening, and are you gonna, like... Oh. Come again soon. Or don't, honestly, if you're gonna do the thing where you tear holes in the fabric of space-time. I don't know if we really need more of that on this island. The Charisma, the one that wields the light to its will. It would steal all of Alola's light. The Charisma wants to take back the light that it once lost. But what are we to do now? It seemed to me like that beast, like Necrozma, was also suffering somehow. It seemed to hurt it to be without its light. You would worry even for Necrozma? You are too kind, Lily. Far too kind. Lusamine, you go sit in the corner and think about what you did. That is why you took Cosmog as well, isn't it? You foolish, sweet child. We need your help. We need to be able to travel between worlds using the legendary Pokemon's power, just like you were able to do. You presume too much. And despite that, it is true that you are trying to take care of things your own way. Should I praise your sense of responsibility as one charged with the protection of Pokemon? You egotistical woman. Is that a mustache? What is that? Please, Captain Fico. It is as my subordinate says. Sparring with you now will change nothing. And there's something I'm more interested in pursuing. Something I noticed during the battle just now. Necrozma seemed distracted by you. By the Z-Power ring you wear, to be perfectly accurate. It seemed to desire the light given off by that sparkling stone set within it. You mean, it wants Z-Crystals. It's true that Drago has an awfully large number of Z-Crystals after coming so far in his Island Challenge. Yeah, that's true. Even more than the dumb captains and kahunas and all, who just focus on one type. It's not in our power to fight with Solgaleo. But we do want to borrow its power to travel through the Ultra Wormholes. You have shown us what you are capable of, though, by summoning Lunala to this place. Perhaps you could ride upon Solgaleo. Yes, just as you ride upon Pokemon in Alola. We call it the Ultra Warp Ride. The Ultra what? If you hope to follow after Necrozma, you must make for the White Warp Hole. If you enter any other warp hole, you will find yourself in another world altogether. Alright. Finally they stopped talking. Holy moly. I'm gonna end this off here. My name is Dragonite, this has been Pokemon Ultra Moon, Next time. Alright, so there is basically no end screen here because everything is dark. At least this symbol is sort of glowing. Sort of glowing. Next time, we're going in after that thing. I've also heard, by the way, that the Ultra Necrozma fight is said by a lot of people to be one of the hardest fights in all of Pokemon. Right up there with the like to Cynthia. So, that's gonna be fun. You should all go check out Wizarducks and the Lost Hat, which is one of the games that I like to work on when I'm not doing YouTube stuff. Link to the Steam page can be found down below. I hope you all enjoyed that, and I will see you all later.